I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is...
the Mary Carter.
Did you send me that thing?
What thing? Oh, no, it's uploading right now. I'll send it to you when I can.
The bite? Did you send me the bite?
It's uploading. When it's done, I'll send it.
Okay. This is...
Stan Rogers, the Mary Ellen Carter.
The Mary... Oh, it must be about a ship.
Oh.
You know how they name the ships after...
Yeah, you're probably right. This is for River.
Shout out to the big homie River. Hey, River's one of our folks.
Okay, so apparently this song helped him get through the year, so...
The year of 2020?
Yeah.
I feel like 2020 is probably the worst year. You know today's the anniversary of Kobe's death?
Really?
Yep. I remember because it was a Sunday last year. We just got done the gym. That means it's been a year. Rest in peace to Danny Sowers.
Yeah.
I found out about Danny on this. Danny died on Friday night into Saturday, and then Kobe died on Sunday.
That weekend was like, wow.
Yeah, I just remember looking up. We got done the gym. We just got out of the sauna. You know. And I was pretty much dead.
We were walking by the TV.
And I just remember looking at the TV. I just laughed. I was like...
When a Jamaican laughs, in certain contexts, it's...
Yeah. And it was crazy, too, because the Wednesday before, I had been at the barber shop. And my barber's cousin died in his sleep. Which now I suspect he probably died of COVID, but that was early. But because there was a couple very strange people just dying in their sleep type deaths, or young people. This is weird. Anyway, F2020, I guess. But anyway, so whatever you use, River, to get you out of 2020, I appreciate it, brother. So hopefully this will help somebody.
Yeah.
But dear listener, if you would like your song reviewed like the big homie River, it's very simple. 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You do that 3 times, you get down to 75. He's at the $75 rate. Right?
Oh yeah,
he's got to be at the $75 rate. If you don't want to do that, do my favorite option, the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in that Patreon where you're able to do that. We're also filming right now. Our mini-series about Mr. D.L. Beluga's Amazon store, which is actually becoming
ours.
extremely frustrating in real life.
Oh my gosh.
But I guess is going to make good TV. We'll see. You know, there's a shed and fodder. People love watching other
Honestly, I think sometimes I get so frustrated that they don't dare take out the camera.
It's a process.
I'm like, I'm going to tell them, look, if you don't take out the camera, at least record the audio.
It's a process. Let's go. The Mary Ellen Carter.
Alrighty.
She went down last October in a pouring driving rain. The skipper he'd been drinking and the mate he felt no pain. Too close to 3 Mile Rock and she was dealt her mortal blow, and the Mary Ellen Carter settled low. There was just us 5 aboard her when she finally was awash. We'd worked like hell to save her, all heedless of the cost. And the groan she gave as she went down, it caused us to proclaim that the Mary Ellen Carter would rise again. Well, the owners rode her off, not a nickel would they spend. She gave 20 years of service, boys, that met her sorry end. But insurance paid the loss to us, so let her rest below. Then they laughed at us and said we had to go. But we talked of her all winter, some days around the clock. She's worth $250,000 afloat and at the dock. And with every jar that hit the bar, we swore we would remain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again. Let her lost to the knowledge of men. Oh, those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. All spring now we've been with her on a barge lent by a friend. 3 dives a day in a hard hat suit and twice I've had the bends. Thank God it's only 60 feet and the currents here are slow, or I'd never have the strength to go below. But we patched her ends, stopped her men's dog hatch and porthole down, put cables to her fore and aft and girded her around. Tomorrow noon we hit the air and then take up the strain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again. Let her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. Oh, those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. For we couldn't leave her there, you see, to crumble into scale. She'd saved our lives so many times, living through the gale.
Hey!
And the laughing drunken rats who left her to a sorry grave, they won't be laughing in another day. And you to whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, and like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again.
Hey!
Rise again, rise again. Though your heart it be broken or life about to end, no matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again. Though your heart it be broken or life about to end, no matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again.
What's up?
I like this one.
Shout out to the Mary Ellen Carter. Rise again.
I like this one. And I can see why it helped you get through this year, because it's like this, first of all, it's got this upbeat feel to it, and they weren't going to leave that little boat or ship or whatever in the bottom. They pulled it out and saved it. They all worked together. It was just, I don't know, I liked it. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, it's really interesting how we anthropomorphize these vehicles. You know, it's
yeah, my sister always did that with her cars, and she would get like super sad when she was gonna get rid of them, and she would always say like, I'm gonna go wash my car. I'm sure that my car will be very happy about that.
My stepdad, he had this, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was an Oldsmobile or what, but it was gray, and he used to call it the Gray Ghost.
Better than Machine Gun Funk.
And that's where I got it from.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shout out to the homie.
Vinny used to have a car that stunk so bad. Okay, yes, he was being nice to people, and that's why it was filled with nasty smells. But at the same time, the kids were very messy, so it was that too.
It was called Machine Gun Funk.
He
it's pretty nasty.
Was that you that named it, or Catherine named it?
Oh, it's a song from Biggie.
Oh.
It's a Biggie song.
Oh man,
I live
really
for
was
the
true.
funk. I die for the funk. So I used to call it Machine Gun Funk because it was funky. That car was funky as hell, bro.
I wanted to clean it for him, and he wouldn't let me. This was before we were together. I'm like, let me just clean your car.
Yeah, I had.
He was like, don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Oh, I should have known something was up. Actually, I did kind of when that. I was like, whoa.
No, you didn't.
Well, I thought it was really weird. Plus, I got that phone
You got that phone?
call.
Huh?
The phone call!
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Where are you?
Oh,
There's a lot of things weren't making any sense.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, whatever.
Yeah, we weren't together at the time, and I guarantee you it's not what any of you are thinking. Like, it wasn't a phone call from some girl or something like that.
No,
It was,
no, it was not.
So anyway,
Interesting stuff.
yeah, so I used to call it the Gray Ghost. And
Why?
I don't know
Just
why. It
named
was
it that?
gray, and it was like well past its prime. And it was funny because, like, you know, he'd take us to school, and you know, we were Jamaican kids, but
Was it
like,
embarrassing?
oh no, I was never. Like, anytime, like, Mr. Man was like somebody like you wanted to be seen in public around. Like, he was just. I think
Yeah,
it's kind of like me. He was everywhere he went.
Okay, yeah.
He was massively popular. You know.
Yeah.
Everywhere he went, people loved him. Like, like everybody loved him. Like, so it was cool. It was, like this whole like you're embarrassed. Like, same thing with my mom. Like, the few times my mom dropped me off at school, people were like, "That's your mom." I'm like, "That's right, bitch. It's my mom."
Really?
Not like your whack ass mother. So both, and then when they were together, forget about it.
People
They
would say
were
the same thing to me, but that's because my mom was always considered so hot. That's
Yeah.
your mom?
Yeah.
Is that why they were saying about your mom too?
Yeah. I'll never forget. Shout out to RJ Cobbs. He was like, wait a second. Vin, that's your mother? And RJ was like a year older than me, and he was like 10 years older than me. He was a year older than me, you think? And he's like, hey! Yeah.
What did your mom do? How did she act about that? Was she fine with it? She
I was
funny?
8th grade, 9th grade, so she probably didn't even realize what was happening. But when
I
my
always
mother-
used to like to tell my mom.
Yeah, when my mother decided, like, when she was out in public, she decided to clean up, man. Forget it.
Really?
Yeah. So when they were both together, it was like... But anyway, so the Gray Ghost, right? So we were sitting there, and it was funny because, it's the dead of winter, and you might not know what this is like, but it's like one of the worst things in the winter is getting into your car, and it's freezing, and then you...
Sometimes it's so cold here, your face literally feels like it's freezing. Like, your mouth doesn't move as well.
There's all this
It, like,
mythology.
changes your
There's all
voice
this
a little bit.
mythology. Like, you can't start the car immediately. You got to give it time to warm up. Blah 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 blah.
If you start the car and start driving, it doesn't go as fast or as smooth as it usually does. It's like slow down.
There's all
It's gonna
these
warm up a
silly.
bit.
There's all these
and then
silly.
they say it could break the vehicle.
None
to
of
do
that is real. None of that is true. None of that is true.
But let's just go with it, so that way you'll keep heating up the car for me.
Yeah. So anyway, I just think the oil and gas companies came up with that idea to have people burn
Oh,
off
you're probably
excess
right.
fuels.
I mean, honestly, you're probably right, but...
So, literally,
is
that's what you put on there? You're ridiculous.
What?
Don't put that up there yet. Okay, so listen. So the Gray Ghost, this is taking way too long. This is the
That's your
intro
fault.
to the review
I feel
here.
like that's a you problem.
So the Gray Ghost, right? It was this gray Oldsmobile. It was a station. I'm pretty sure it was a station wagon. And like, we'd all be in the car and it'd be freezing. I'd be like, Uncle Robert, let's go. And he'd be like, hold on there, Vinny. Hold on.
Oh, because he wanted to warm it up?
He had to warm up the car.
Yeah, but why? Oh, they didn't have car starters and stuff, and people
No, he
people
had no
didn't
car
leave
starter.
that running like that.
No, that car was like from 1950. It was like the first car ever made or something like that. Like,
Yeah, but the thing is, back then, if your car was running, then the keys were definitely in it. So then it's
100%.
basically like, you can steal my car. Now, people have car starters, so if there's a car running, it doesn't mean the keys are in it.
yeah, I did it anyway. I took Johan to Walmart yesterday, and
I know.
I just left the whole thing running, doors open. He's like, "Oh, we're taking the keys." I'm like, "If we take the keys, the car's going to shut off, bro." He's like, "Oh," he's like,
doesn't know. It
he's
doesn't
like,
shut off.
he's well, yeah, but you got to redo the thing and all.
No,
that.
it's going to beep saying you left the car with the keys.
I don't want to deal with that hassle.
I just don't want the keys in my pocket.
So
that's why I did it.
so anyway, and then like the car was getting older and older, and like then it wouldn't even start. And I remember being like, "Holy shit! If this car doesn't start, I don't have to go to school. I didn't know about homeschooling. If I'd have known about homeschooling, I would have really went after my mom to homeschool me, and I'd have been a much happier kid. But I remember thinking to myself, like, I might not have to go to school. This is like the best of all possible worlds.
Yeah, I remember that happening too.
And he'd always get it. He'd be like, "Oh, come on!" He'd talk to it, and come on. So that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of the Grey Ghost. Shout out to Mr. Man.
You know, my parents had this really, really crappy van. It was like a Dodge Caravan. Was it a Dodge Caravan? It was like, I don't know. Anyway, I don't think it was a Dodge Caravan. The Dodge Caravan was next. But anyway, it was this big conversion van. And it was fun, though. Like, there was buttons in the front. You could click the lights on. It would be like this ambiance that would kind of like this ambient light that would come in. Just a little bit of light. But anyway, that thing was crap. And it needed to die like a year ago. And it wasn't dying. But then all of a sudden it got really, really bad. And that was it. And for some reason, I guess my father's business must not have been going very well. So I remember my parents being really, really stressed out about the car and that the car was going to break down and we weren't going to have anything because it was the only vehicle we had, except for my father's work truck, but we couldn't all fit in that. So there was this lady that was from our church, and she was like, she found out that my parents were worried about that. She was like, "That's all right." She said, "I'll lay my hands on that vehicle," and she said, "I'll pray over it, and God is gonna make that vehicle go." And so she went out there, she put her hands right on the hood, and I remember, like, it was a pretty cool moment for me because I remember that lady, she didn't really like me. She really, really loved my sister. And actually that was kind of like a rare thing because most times when we were younger, my adults liked me more. So this woman was like crazy about my sister. She loved the way that she would sing. There was like this little, "I am a promise, with the possibility. I am a great big," hold on. What did she? "A great big bundle of potentiality." Like, Christy would just get right into it, and the lady loved all the action that she was putting out. And so...
That was at church?
Yeah. So she just put all that energy out like she was Annie from, one of those musicals. So the lady just loved her. So anyway, the lady goes out there, she lays hands on my parents' vehicle, and she lays hands, that's Christian talk for, she just put her hands right on the hood, and then she just prayed that God would take care of that vehicle and make it go, and then blah, 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 and she went on, and then that thing never died. They were able to even sell it years later. Like, seriously.
Oh, it started? It worked?
It worked, and it stayed working for a really long time. Like I said, they sold it because it kept going.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
I guess it's just a coincidence.
But you know what? I knew when she was praying over it, I said, "It's done. She's asking, it's done. That vehicle's gonna run. No problems here."
Holy moly.
Yep.
Holy moly.
And now, like, knowing how my dad is, I wonder how he felt about it, if he was, like, good with it, or if he thought it was odd, or, like, I don't know, because they were Catholics, and I don't think that they, Catholicism, there's not a whole lot of that kind of action, so.
What do you mean?
What? Praying over stuff to, like, making objects keep going?
First of all, there's a patron saint for everything. And second of all,
I never really saw it practiced out in the...
One of the ways that you qualify for sainthood is if a miracle gets done in your name.
Yeah.
Like, you can't
Yeah, but this is just a regular person from church. So I don't know if, like how... Because they went from that to then, like, they're at this Pentecostal church, and it's...
Oh, yeah.
Speaking in tongues and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so, yeah. So that went on and on and on and on and on. Then they sold the vehicle because it kept going and we needed something else.
Yeah. But I think, like,
Guzzler.
the song has kind of ingenious because, one, it is a very strange relationship that we have with these, I don't know what even you call them, but, I think, like the most,
Well,
is it the Deus Ex Machina or whatever?
That's what I was going to say. I think that it's evidence that,
You have... Go ahead.
Artificial intelligence is going to take over. That's it.
Well, I don't... That's not where I was going, but, like...
I'm just kidding. Because nobody knows where I'm going to go because they probably think the last thing I said was crazy, so then they're like...
Yeah. That movie is like the ultimate in anthropomorphizing a tool that we built. right? But like, we do have this kind of like very strange relationship with these inanimate objects.
With machines?
That then kind of raise it above something. So like, if I heard this song, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw the actual ship, and it was like destroyed and in disrepair, I would be sad.
Yeah.
It's a very strange, and I to this moment,
such a good job with this one because I love that ship now.
Yeah, to this moment, I don't understand why that is, and I probably never will. But it's funny too. Like he said something about like basically these guys got threatened with hell. I think like it says. And the laughing drunken rats who left her to a sorry grave, they won't be laughing in another day. And I'm like, is that Judgment Day? Like, are you saying that God's gonna be like, you fucked up on this ship, you're out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? And then he brilliantly correlated it to life after that. You know, to you whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, and like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again. Mm-hmm. And he says, you know, if you lost a lover, you lost a friend, whatever, be like the Mary Ellen. And it's just like...
and that's why it's so important.
And it's inspiring as hell. It's really, really inspiring because... You know, it's one of those things where I guess, it takes a bunch of people to kind of make a ship and kind of resurrect a ship, so maybe it's maybe sort of a living parable.
Yeah, I mean, it had a certain togetherness about it.
Yeah. That's I think it's one of the things that's kind of missing, like, today, is, like, those straightforwardly positive songs. Mm-hmm. I just feel like we're collectively too cynical to have a song be that upfront positive.
I don't know. I mean,
because like he's talking to
what
you.
What genre
like,
is that?
Like I
maybe there's more of these in that particular genre.
I guess it's folk. I mean, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like 1979, right? Like, okay, that works. Mm-hmm. But I don't see that happening in 20. Well, the closest is probably that Modest Mouse song. We'll all float on, all right. Yeah. That one was okay. You know, a fake Jamaican took me for everything I had. That's cool. It was worth it to learn some sleight of hand or something like that. Like, he just turned everything positive. So, it could be done. I mean, I think that song was like the last, and that song blew up. That was like a massive song. I just think that, especially after 2020, there needs to be a bunch of songs like this. And, like,
I agree.
Because again, like, there is like passive inspiration where like the artist is not telling you to be positive. You just get something positive. Mm-hmm. It's very rare that the artist will talk to the audience and say, "Be positive."
Yeah,
and he does that. He turns to the audience in the last two verses or whatever and tells you, be like, and I just think, I think we could use some of that guidance, like, obviously River used it to get through 2020, and I just think that, but again, like, I don't know, and I don't know if I'm saying that because this guy reminds me of, there's this guy that my mom used to listen to, Don Francisco, and he was like a folk Christian singer, and he'd come up with these like ballads or whatever. They were really, really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was about. I'll let you hear one of them. Adam, where are you? Adam, dun, 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 Adam. You don't remember that song? Yeah. So anyway, Don Francisco. She used to listen to Don Francisco, and it was these Christian songs, and he would sing it, and then at the end he would there would always be some moral or whatever, like you should turn to God too, and whatever. And I don't know. I loved it. I mean, we used to realize, oh my God, Don Francisco. She'd listen to the whole record, and she'd be dancing and singing and praying in the living room, and she just didn't care.
Yeah.
And she didn't care about us either, as far as what if I wanted to watch TV, or it was TBN all the time with Don Francisco.
Good for her.
That's pretty much it. Oh yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it was just cool. It was just cool. I really liked it. It was like a blast from the past. It reminded me of the Grey Ghost. It reminded me of Don Francisco and all that. And it was just a very, very positive song. So there you go. 9.4 for me.
I think I'm gonna actually put this one as a 10 because for me, when we finished listening to it, I actually was kind of hoping that, I know that I can listen to the song anytime I want to, but I kind of wish that we were listening to it again right now, because I just liked the way that it felt, and I liked the positivity feel of it. And I always like when something is like fixing something that's crappy. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, you do like that.
So, you know, part of what we're doing, I have to keep straightening out boxes, and oh, it's so satisfying. And I have like a little bucket of all straightened out boxes. It's a very nice feeling, very satisfying. So
yeah, hopefully you'll actually be able to sell them.
I know. I'll find a way.
Yeah, yeah.
I already have the idea that I told you.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's pretty interesting. So for me, it's a 10 because it was positive. I liked it. I really enjoyed the feel, the vibe, and
the vibe.
Plus, it was kind of cool, River, to be able to kind of get an idea into how your year was and what kind of help brought you, bring you through it and stuff. So that was cool too.
Thank you very, very much. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.
Hey villagers, this is Archero, and I'm inviting you to the Village March Madness Tournament. We're doing this as a fundraiser and to get together as a community and have a little bit of fun. If you're not familiar with March Madness, it is a 64-team college basketball tournament. The teams all play in single elimination round tournament style. Final winner is going to be the national champion. There's going to be a page set up on the ESPN website where you can make your guesses who's going to win each game. And we'll have a private group set up just for our village to compete against each other and see who predicted the winners best. To participate, it only costs $1. And all of that is going to go to help other villagers who are in need right now. This is all going to be happening in mid-March. More details are coming very soon about the dates, prizes, and how to join. I'll see you guys there. Keep it metal.